In a quiet market alley, there lived a butcher named Ayoub. Every morning, before opening his shop, he would take the first piece of fresh meat and toss it to a gray dog waiting patiently at the corner. Always at the same spot. Always at the same time. It was as if they shared an unspoken appointment. One neither ever missed. No one knew where the dog came from. Ayoub never asked. Some people don't need to know origins to choose kindness. Ayoub was the kind of man people trusted before he even spoke. He opened his shop before the town awoke and closed it long after it slept. He sold at fair prices, added extra weight for those who looked in need, and never waited for thanks. His hands never lied. His words never exceeded what was necessary. And so, life moved in quiet rhythm. The dog waited. Ayoub gave. The dog ate in silence and left. It became part of the morning, like sunlight and the murmur of the market. Some merchants would laugh and say, "Why waste good meat on a dog that brings you nothing?" Ayoub would simply smile. "He's hungry, like us." At home, his wife Aya waited every evening. A calm woman who recognized her husband by the sound of his footsteps before he even opened the door. They shared a simple dream, a small house, with a window overlooking a garden, far from the noise. For years, Ayoub saved every coin, patiently, relentlessly. He kept his earnings in a small wooden box hidden beneath the large sofa in their home. One year, he told Aya, "I found the land. We're close now. This autumn. We build." She smiled softly. "I trust you, Ayoub." That smile was enough to carry him through every long day. Across the alley, behind a door that was always shut, lived a man named Handhal. Tall, quiet, calculated. No one knew how he earned his living. Every morning he passed by Ayoub's shop and smiled. But his smile never reached his eyes. It was the kind of smile that wanted you to feel safe, while hiding something restless underneath. One day, he saw Ayoub feeding the dog. "Good meat, wasted on a stray," he said, pretending to joke. Without turning, Ayoub replied, "He's hungry, Handhal, like any living creature." Handhal looked at the dog, envy flickering in his gaze, then walked away. But something had already taken root inside him. A fire. He began watching, waiting, calculating, and eventually he found a way. One night, when the alley slept and the moon hid behind clouds, Handhal moved. The next day began like any other. Ayoub opened his shop, fed the dog, worked until sunset. But when he returned home, something felt wrong. The air was different, the silence heavier. The sofa was slightly out of place. He approached slowly, knelt, and opened the wooden box. Empty. Completely empty. He stood frozen, staring at the hollow space, like it had never held anything at all. Aya saw his face before she saw the box. Then she understood. Without a word, she sat beside him on the floor and held his hand. As the lamp burned quietly into the night. The next morning, Ayoub went to the judge. He told everything, calmly, precisely, though his heart was breaking inside. Guards searched the neighborhood, every door, every corner, nothing. "No broken locks, no witnesses," the chief guard said. The judge looked at Ayoub with sympathy. "Without proof, I cannot accuse anyone." Ayoub returned home, his head heavy. He sat at his doorstep, staring at the road. Then Handhal passed by. "What troubles you, neighbor?" he asked. "My money. Stolen. 3 years of work." Handhal raised his hands in false sorrow. "Even the good are not spared. I'm truly sorry." And he walked away, carrying a different kind of peace. That evening, Ayoub sat alone. 3 years, gone in a single night. Then he heard footsteps. The gray dog, But something was different. It walked slowly, deliberately, as if it understood. It sat in front of him and looked into his eyes. There was something there, not just instinct, understanding, real sorrow. Ayoub placed his tired hand on its head. "I have nothing for you today, my friend." The dog stayed still for a moment. Then suddenly, it stood up. It began sniffing the ground near the doorstep, then toward the alley. It paused, looked back at Ayoub once, and ran into the darkness. It didn't return that night. The next morning, the dog came back, but it didn't wait at the corner. It ran to Ayoub, then darted forward, stopped, looked back, again and again, as if saying, "Follow me." Ayoub understood. He left everything and followed. The dog led him through narrow alleys, moving with certainty. Then it stopped, in front of Handhal's house. It sniffed near the door, then moved to a hidden garden entrance. It went in and began digging furiously near the back wall. The soil was fresh, soft, disturbed. Then cloth appeared. The dog stopped and looked at Ayoub. Ayoub knelt, hands trembling. He uncovered it. The box, his box. Inside, every coin, untouched. He closed his eyes for a moment, then looked at the dog with a gaze beyond words. Moments later, he stood before the judge. "I found the proof." "Who led you?" the judge asked. Ayoub turned slightly. "The dog. I've been feeding for 3 years." Silence filled the room. They went together to Handhal's house. The dog ran ahead, stopping at the same spot. The guards dug. The box emerged, wrapped in red cloth. At that moment, Handhal stepped outside. He saw the box, the judge, Ayoub, and the dog, watching him. His smile fell, completely. He opened his mouth, but no lie came fast enough. Truth was already in the guard's hands. He collapsed and confessed. The money was returned. That autumn, Ayoub built his house, stone walls, wooden roof, a window overlooking a quiet garden, just as Aya dreamed. And in one corner of that garden, he built something else, a small shelter, warm, simple, peaceful. Every morning before opening his shop, Ayoub placed a fresh piece of meat there. The gray dog would come out, eat quietly, and return to its place, just like always. One day, Aya stood by the window, watching Ayoub in the garden. "What are you thinking?" she asked. He looked up and said softly, "Sometimes we give without expecting anything, and that is the most beautiful thing of all." Aya smiled. The garden was green. The morning was clear. And in that moment, nothing more was needed. Because in God's world, every kindness you plant finds its way back to you when you need it most. And loyalty never forgets its path.